So I gave Monster Hunter Wilds a try today in the beta on the PlayStation 5. I want to share my opinion with you. Keep in mind that I played, I think, like maybe 10 minutes of Monster Hunter games in general, so it's kind of completely fresh to me. There's a big hype for this game. The game is climbing really on Steam charts way before its release date, so definitely many people are looking forward to play this game. Now I have to tell you that the reason I didn't play a lot of this type of game because I didn't connect with it too much. Although I told myself I'm going to give this game a chance. I knew it's going to be pretty similar to other games. So yeah, I told myself whether I'm going to connect with it again, and it's worth giving it a try. I mean, after all, beta testing, not buying it, why not? So first of all, the character creation, lots of different options, which is cool. Being able to also customize the pet companion as well. I even forgot there's a companion, which is really nice, by the way. They're super cute. But when I look at UI, I mean, it looks like Photoshop, to be honest. A Photoshop, UI panel, really. You just, well, I mean, I don't mind giving. I mean, just too complicated considering this is just again a UI for character creation for a video game. And sometimes with the UI, it just feels too complicated. I mean, I can understand it because again, I'm working with lots of photo editing software, but it just seems like a bit overkill. Use, saturation, brightness, all these things, all these terms are just from basically editing, image editing. Nonetheless, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Give me good amount of control, precise control. Look here, for example, you can check the different values of everything after that. This is usually what you give devs to kind of play around when they're developing in terms of UI. You don't give this to players. It's kind of weird seeing it for the first time, to be honest. Something like that, it seems off in general. But yeah, you have great degree of control over all the fine details. Yeah, so definitely this is something to appreciate, but the UI just looks too much. That's the cat, which is super cute. Different options for also changing colors, and fur, and ear sizes, and they're super cute. By the way, I really love them. Put a smile on my face. I mean, yeah. So having companion is great. I mean, straight from the start, having companion that is with you, I always enjoy it, especially kind of when I start playing alone. There's somebody with me, so I don't feel like I'm playing alone. So it's always cool, and especially something cute as that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do this.
Yeah, so after the beginning, you find yourself on kind of a desert ship cruising through, and this is going to be before you actually start playing. So there'll be a cutscene and kind of situation there.
Over here, Hunter.
Your reputation precedes you, Hunter. I trust you know what I've called you here to discuss.
Yes, sir. The Forbidden Lands?
Indeed. But more precisely about the boy we rescued in the vicinity. Entry to the region itself has been restricted for 1,000 years. We thought it complete.
So at this point, we need to basically kind of save a boy and be given orders, and we go to that place in order to save him. And basically, we're kind of jumping from the ship into the mount. That's basically where soon the tutorial will begin, explain to you different mechanics, and of course later on I put everything, so I need to learn everything because I don't know the mechanics, and pretty complex. Yeah, I mean, not this one, but later on, again, I learned there are so many things that you can do. And yeah, basically the game already felt that, it's going to have lots of depth into the combat, which is, of course, this is the main thing of the game. Now, in terms of visuals, I just want to say I'm playing on performance mode, and it looks good, by the way, but there are some situations where I felt like, come on, I mean, after playing Unreal Engine 5 games, for example, and looking how beautiful games can look, it feels this, step back. Although when it comes to some of the animations, like particle effects and the monsters animations, this is where it really shines. But I really noticed, especially in the game, some really low textures, low resolution textures, other things. But overall, it was pretty good, very good. The thing you want to see here is basically organic animation, movement, something that feels kind of realistic, and yeah, and it does.
On your flank!
Bet we can bring those rocks down.
Hey, this way! Look, the others! Inside company!
Yeah, so basically the cutscenes were real-time cutscene, pretty well animated, really nicely done. Not really care about that at point, the story or anything, but we just want to check the gameplay. But seems everything just kind of nicely done.
Okay.
If you answer a few questions...
Yeah, so at this point I need to choose my weapon, and you can actually have kind of dialogue that she will ask you things if you don't know what to choose.
You describe
She give you a few questions and you're going to answer them, and then she will recommend something, which is cool for those who kind of don't know which weapon to choose. It can be confusing at times, especially if you can always choose later. I realize that it's not like you choose this weapon and that's about it. You are locked to it, like Souls games, or not Souls game, like certain RPG games where you have a class, for example, and that's what you go with. No, you can always change. And a pretty large selection of weapons. I didn't, by the way, like the UI at all. It looks like a UI from 20 years ago, and with the colors and everything, just the UI was just terrible in my opinion. Really. Nonetheless, here you can see all the different options. For example, fast attack weapons, slow and high damage dealing. I really like the armor, by the way. If you like big weapons, like you can choose that. Range weapons. You can also choose, by the way, a primary and a secondary weapon. You can have close range or long range. A really nice selection. Yeah, after that, you can actually test it out and check the different options. It's cool that the game actually shows you the different options, the top right. And throughout the game, it actually shows you, which is good, because sometimes I forget what to do. And this is really cool that, sometimes you don't want that. You don't want the interference. But in this game, there are so many options. So it's really helpful that it's there. And once you get used to it, I think you can turn it off. I didn't try, but overall, it's really nice seeing all the options. You can also see the animations are very sleek, very, very smooth. Really, it's amazing. Down to the details of the hands and the legs, everything. Just really, really nicely done. Yeah, after that, you're gonna go and fight your first monster, give you understanding, and that gave me an understanding that, whoa, oh boy, this game will be very complicated later on. Still, that's the tutorial, so it will teach you a few things. And by the way, take a look at the body of the monster. It feels so organic. That's the thing that I really wanted to, feel the most impressive, and is actually very impressive. Not perfect, but very, very well done. I mean, seriously, look at the tongue and the liquids for the tongue. It's great. Yeah, but there's something there with the animations, and I don't know, with the hitbox felt a bit clunky. I don't know what to say. It just felt like I'm not really connecting. I feel like I'm hitting a box or something. I don't know. I wasn't fully satisfied with it. Anyway, after you finish monsters, you can loot them. Anyway, there's also weak points that you can hit them. You can see there. You can actually highlight with L2. So you can see them, and if you hit them, you deal extra damage to them. Kind of weak points where they get hit when you cut them or something like that. And that also shows me that sometimes you're going to need certain weapons, depend on the size of the monster and, strategy to attack this monster. There's so much depth into it in terms of items, in terms of resistances, lots of stuff. After that, I got to the camp. This is where, let's say, basically you get ready for your quests and other missions. And at this point, you can craft items, change your equipment. As I told you, you can change everything. If you choose for example, the different options for your armor, you need to take a look. There are different levels and different stats for each one. So it depends on which monster you're actually fighting. You need to adapt. Basically, they took the stats and spread it around different items and consumables. So if you're jumping to the battle, you need to kind of combine and create a strong build in order to be able to defeat tough challenges. I mean, I haven't done something like that, but based on what I see here, that's the case. Still, I didn't like the UI at all. Yeah, it looks so confusing with all the different colors. It just, I don't know. It looked off, but yeah, that's my first impressions at least. I mean, take a look at this thing. I mean, you couldn't even read the text. I mean, what were they thinking? This stroke around the text, and what is that? I mean, this is like the worst thing I actually ever seen in a game like for a long time in terms of UI. What is that? So confusing, and with the colors, complete mess. Anyway, first impressions regarding the UI, definitely something that I didn't expect, something like that. Anyway, after that I went to fight my first quest, a monster which I haven't able to kill yet. I was able to kind of damage it a lot, but I got wrecked several times. The world is beautiful, seeing all the different monsters hanging around. Some of them actually join the battle, sometimes against the monster you are fighting, and sometimes, against you. And it's very atmospheric. Look at that. All the fog there and the dust, I would say, not fog, and the particle effect. It's beautiful. Although, again, there's some aspect of the game in terms of the graphics that I didn't like, and this is still on performance, but really beautiful world. Look at the move in the sand. It's so impressive. Really, very impressive. Look at the animations of the character and the fur. Really amazing. You can see also the visual effects are beautiful. They do contrast because everything looks a bit dull, but then everything else, when it comes to visual effects, everything just pop, and it's just beautiful. Also the use of elevation, also really nice, where you're kind of fighting and trying to catch up, for example, with the monsters, and the way you view them from afar. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Until I see the UI, but yeah, okay. Just can't. The game is just that gorgeous. So look how stunning it is. I mean, I think it could have looked better, to be honest with you, in terms of graphic fidelity, but it does have its own art style. It's pretty impressive. And by the way, look at the transition. It probably signifies something, I don't know. Absolutely stunning. The transition between the storm weather and the well, I don't know what actually happened there. Maybe you can tell me in the comment section, but it was breathtaking. Now take a look at the fur. Take a look. You feel the muscles of the creatures. It's just amazing. It feels so threatening because of this animation, the way it looks at you, and the way it storms at you. Insane. And this particular part, the dunes, the elevation where you see everything from afar, I really like it, really. Just so immersive.
supplies. Check.
Until I see the UI again. Yeah, I will complain about it. I just didn't like it.
Another monster's horning in.
Now look how amazing it is when the little ones attack the big monster. Now, for a person who haven't played, you know, I played maybe 10 minutes Monster Hunter in the past, this is very, very impressive. I can definitely understand why people are so hyped for this game, just playing this demo. I mean, seriously, if that's the start of the game, what's gonna be ahead? I'm just blown away. This is just the beginning. This is just one monster that I'm attacking, you know, in the demo, in the first monster. Not the first one, the second one. So, what's next?
Fur of steel.
Look, you can actually feel that the monster is suffering. And if something changes, look at the mouth, she's already dripping and stuff.
How cool! Now's our chance. Power up activated.
Anyway, my first impressions were great. Some things I didn't like, I told you about the UI mainly, and some of the things that I think like it was bugged for me with the controller. But aside from that, and again, this is just the demo, right? It's not the final version, doesn't represent the final version of the game. And I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen so far. Really. This is a game that I definitely want to jump into because it just looks so amazing. In the past, I didn't connect with it too much, but at the time, I was also playing lots of first-person shooters and lots of other games, and basically kind of ditched it in favor of other games that I prefer. But now, I want to play something different, and for me, this game looks very, very promising. Yeah, and these are my first impressions of the demo. I'm going to play more. If anything interesting or different, I'm going to share with you. Very impressive so far. So yeah, definitely this game is on top of my list for the games that I want to play. Thanks for watching.